The consequences of the chosen path. Human life unfolds through constant choices. Every decision, no matter how small it may seem, contributes to the building of a personal path that either draws closer to or diverges from certain destinations. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, the metaphor of the path is powerful and profound. It is not merely about pragmatic or strategic decisions, but about moral and spiritual choices that define the course of one's life. Within this view, the wisdom of Solomon teaches that life is a crossroads between two paths, that of wisdom and that of foolishness. In the Judeo-Christian view, there is no true wisdom unless it culminates in reverence for God. They may accumulate wealth, enjoy pleasures, and appear successful. However, this prosperity is shallow and fleeting. The fool despises advice, mocks correction, and becomes trapped in a self-destructive logic. Life does not end in the grave. Therefore, moral decisions carry eternal weight. One who has lived without truth, without love, and without God has constructed their own condemnation. Human beings are free to choose whether to listen to or reject wisdom. The wise person is not one who never makes mistakes, but one who is willing to be corrected, to grow, and to follow sound advice. Through reflection, prayer, experience, and guidance from others, one can persevere on the right path. Yet it is also true that the path of foolishness is always lurking, disguised as pleasure, pride, or comfort. This freedom is a gift, but also a burden, for every choice carries consequences. Thus, the call to wisdom is not merely ethical advice, but an urgent invitation to eternal life. To choose wisdom is to choose life. To choose foolishness is to choose death. The wise do not live only for this life, but prepare for eternity. The fool, by rejecting wisdom and living solely for themselves, walks toward judgment. Over time, the consequences of their choices become evident. Broken relationships, loss of purpose, existential emptiness, and ultimately, destruction. Thus, the path of the wise also becomes the path of salvation. The fool not only errs, but justifies their error, takes pride in it, and drags others down the same path. This stubbornness leads not only to earthly ruin, but also increasingly distances the fool from the possibility of redemption. In this sense, foolishness is a path to death only physical death, but spiritual death as well. It is a road that leads to divine favor and to a hope that transcends death. Those who live wisely live with purpose and die in peace. These paths are neither neutral nor easily reversible, and their consequences reach not only this life, but eternity. Judeo-Christian wisdom presents life not as a series of disconnected moments, but as a journey with direction and purpose. In this worldview, wisdom is not limited to intellectual knowledge or practical experience. It is a spiritual virtue encompassing obedience, humility, discernment, and reverence toward the divine. Choosing the path of wisdom means aligning oneself with eternal principles of justice, truth, and mercy. In contrast, the path of foolishness represents a life led by self-reliance, arrogance, disregard for counsel, and disconnection from the transcendent. Foolishness is not simply a lack of intelligence, but a willful rebellion against the principles that sustain life in harmony with the Creator and with others. This path is marked by long life, inner peace, balanced prosperity, and healthy relationships. But beyond the material, wisdom offers emotional stability, spiritual clarity, and increasing communion with divine purpose. This wisdom is described as a tree of life, an inexhaustible source of joy and protection. The wise are not free from difficulties, but their lives are built on a solid foundation that sustains them in the midst of storms. Thus, foolishness becomes a destructive force leading to personal and societal ruin. According to the wisdom of Solomon, those who choose the path of wisdom find abundant blessings along the way. Moreover, wisdom prepares the heart for eternity. The path of foolishness, on the other hand, may seem attractive at first. Judeo-Christian wisdom acknowledges that fools may experience temporary prosperity. Foolishness also hardens the heart and darkens the conscience. One of the most radical aspects of the wisdom of Solomon is its view of the eternal consequences of one's chosen path. This judgment should not be understood solely in terms of punishment, but as the logical conclusion of a path traveled. Judeo-Christian wisdom emphasizes that every person is responsible for their path. It is not a matter of fate or predetermination, but of continual decision-making. Life, therefore, must be lived with discernment, humility, and a willingness to learn.